Namaste, everyone. I would like to give you an oracle for the April 4th, 2020 Stargate. So, this is a particularly powerful day because we have fours across the board, right? We have April 4th, 2020, and 2020 is a 4 year. So, the number 4 represents Jupiter, right? It represents this deep blue energy, right? This deep blue energy, and also this marigold energy, right? With Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, it represents this deep, almost royal blue. Right, we talk about this deep royal blue, and that represents the transcendence of limiting beliefs, transcendence of any sort of oppressive energies that are holding us down, and liberating, right? So planet Jupiter is about liberating. And on the other side of that liberation is this marigold energy, which is prosperity, right? So Jupiter holds the frequency of teachings, right, on how to liberate yourself, and also a higher creativity that comes about through making necessary changes to your life, right? So Jupiter is seen as the great teacher, right? And the Jupiter, the whole planet of Jupiter basically is a space holder for the heart frequency. And then the number 4 is about the heart frequency, right? The heart frequency, right? And this particular day is really going to activate the heart frequency, right? So basically, what does that mean, right? The Jupiter, right? That royal blue, right? That marigold energy. That's about you tapping into the commanding force of your self-worth, right? Which is you feeling comfortable with being you, right? And you going out there and shining your light, right? This with a sense of I'm liberated, right? Therefore, instead of being fearful, right, in my oppressive state, I'm more fearless. And that's kind of the journey of like planet Jupiter. Is in the oppressive state, it's very fearful, right? We can be in these sort of restricting beliefs and perspectives. That could be outdated, right? Like hand-me-down sort of clothes that sometimes you just gotta throw it away, right? It's been worn way too much, right? And then the liberation is like the teacher, right? Finding it within yourself, right? We say the heart is the courage, right? We say find it within yourself, right? Right? Find it within yourself, right? We say that a lot, right, to people who, need some sort of encouragement or some sort of discipline, or some sort of, you could say, boost to really help them persevere. We say find it within yourself. Find your courage. And that really is about your heart, right? It's about finding it's about finding the comfortability with expressing your inner wealth, right? And getting to know that part of yourself, right? And a lot of us, again, we many times function for a more oppressive state, right? The more oppressive state where we put in all these sort of judgments and all these sort of restrictions and why I can't, right? Why I can't really blossom, or why I can't really come to the fullness of myself, right? And then Jupiter, again, that frequency of the heart, that royal blue, that marigold, is really about the nobility of your character, right? So a lot of us were drawn to the Jupiter because there is a sense of nobility of character, right? And that's what this whole sort of earth experience and experiment is, right? How to have this more noble character within yourself. And that really does come from the heart frequency. And that's really what we're brought back to when we really want to step into higher creativity and to step into a greater, more magnetic, radiant, and just the excellence of our human incarnation. We go back to the cultivation of the heart. right? When we really want to step into the real excellence of the human incarnation, right? Which the real excellence of the human incarnation is really about being liberated, right? And having the teaching within yourself, right? Having the teaching within yourself to be able to navigate this earth plane with a sense of strength rather than a sense of oppressiveness, right? If that's a word, right? So with this particular day, right, I the 4 number is very much an earth angel, right? Is it we there the 4 number is very much an earth angel. And what is that? What is an earth angel, right? Basically, an earth angel is an individual who is very much a guardian earth, right? They have a they come to earth to bring about higher creativity. They come to earth to trigger, to support and awaken the higher creativity in people around them, right? They come with a very strong heart frequency. It's basically what an earth angel is they come to earth with a very strong heart frequency that's not so easily brought down, that's not so easily, obscured or distorted by the many sort of, conflicting energies that can, be oppressive, right? An earth angel tends to have a lot more resilience, right? The heart frequency of the earth angel is a lot more resilient. And when it comes to these interferences, right, the noise, right, the agendas, these sort of aggressions that we face as human beings, right, the obstacle, right, the heart frequency of this sort of earth angel, this 4 number, is very, very excellent, right, at being able to basically magnetize the good qualities in not only themselves but the people around them, right? Because the heart frequency is so expansive, right? So a lot of that, earth angel, it has to do with, again, the inner child, right? It has to do with getting to know your inner child. It has to do with really starting to open up to that, right? To explore your vulnerability and to find the talents and gifts. Because the one thing about earth angels is that they have this sense of craftsmanship with earth, right? They come here and they be very purposeful, right? Very, very purposeful. They have collected a lot of talents and gifts through many incarnations, and they come to create and to collaborate, right? To help people build up their self-esteem. And that's one thing about earth angels, is that they do help people build up their self-esteem, and how they do it is through creativity, through collaboration, right? So that is basically what we're really getting, this sort of activation on this day, right? April 4th. And we're really going to experience the unblocking of the love frequency, and we're going to experience more of the higher creativity that is available in unblocking the love frequency, right? Which is really about getting more in touch with your self-esteem, right? We talk about character development, right? And that earth angel is basically about having that character development, right? Having initiated yourself into these practices of perseverance and resilience and endurance and tolerance, right? These are all words very much associated with an earth angel, very much associated with the heart frequency, right? The heart frequency is very much about, stamina. It's very much about being able to, hold your ground, right? Being able to really follow through, right? To mediate, right? To mediate your life, right? To bring fairness, right? We talk about the heart is the force that brings fairness, right? The force that tries to mediate, right? Just like your heart is always mediating the body, right? Always trying to keep you not too hot and not too cold, right? And that's the same thing with what the earth angel is, right? The main lessons an earth angel experience is patience, tolerance, endurance, perseverance, craftsmanship, what it means to be self-reliant, what it means to be interdependent, what it means to be independent, right? And what it means to be self-sufficient, right? Because an earth angel, this 4 number, right? We talk about the frequency of the heart, is really about being your own muse and extending that out and sharing that, right? Sharing that sort of the wholeness of you getting to know you, right? And that's what an earth angel really is that ability to get to know you and to have this sort of we talk about personality disorder, right? The earth angel is really about having this personality sort of this unity in the personality, right? Which is about you getting to know you and having a character that's not so easily shaken, that's not so easily insecure, that's not so easily brought down. That's what we're really working on within ourselves, right? The great lesson, right? The great sort of, excellence of ourself as a human being is to cultivate what I call the heart frequency, which basically is the earth angel. It's basically what it is. So what I'm going to do is I have different decks, and I'm going to pull some cards and just see what the Holy Spirit, what Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary would like to channel through me using these cards. So I call upon Archangel Michael. I call upon Archangel Gabriel. I call upon Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. My intention is clear. My intention is pure. My intention is to channel messages that will... my intention is to channel messages that is empowering, inspiring, uplifting, and that can bring clarity, both mind, body, and spirit, to those who will watch this. My intention is for all messages to bring about positive waves of manifestation to help everybody manifest their higher creativity, higher prosperity, and healing energy, so that everybody can experience breakthrough and experience victory in all areas of their life. May this reading be liberating. Okay, so what is this Stargate, this 4-day? What is the message for us? What is this 4-day would like to share with us? What is this activation that's happening? How are we being activated? What is coming through? What is coming through us that can help us to better move forward? What is moving through us? So I got 2 cards from the crystal deck. And then I'm going to pull 2 cards from another deck. Okay, what is the message that this 4-day is sending? The activation, the power. What is the power? What is the message? The power that's coming through to help transform us, help elevate us, help inspire us, help us move into greater levels of excellence as a human being, into greater incarnations of our self-esteem and freedom and achievement in all areas of life. What is the great message? Okay. So, let's see. So I got Kite, Jasper, and then I have Rose Quartz. Again, Rose Quartz, that's about the love frequency, right? The love frequency, like unblocking your emotions, right? Clearing out these dead emotions, right? So that you can really start to work on character development. Character development doesn't happen on the ego level, right? The real self-esteem really happens in the heart frequency, right? And you getting in touch with your you could say you getting in touch with your intention, right? You getting in touch with your intuition, you getting in touch with your perseverance. That's where we really start to have character development, where we really start to have a personality that's well-rounded, instead of having these personality splits and chaotic personalities and that kind of whiplash type. That's very draining to have that personality whiplash, right? So we're really getting into the character through embracing the heart frequency. So the Jasper, the dream time. Wow. So there's definitely some definitely some, you could say, psychic development that's happening when it comes to astral travel, and when it comes to basically being able to connect with others through telepathy, but also being able to connect uh, with the sort of etheric realm to create sort of a clearing, right? Which is cutting cords, clearing attachments, even clearing people that are, lurking in the etheric realm, just kind of hanging around. We're clearing them. So we have Jasper balances inner and outer experiences, encourages versatility and openness to new experiences, helping you to choose the right path. Self-understanding, a powerful beginning. You have roots that go far back into the past. What you dreamed, you created. Reap rewards or resuscitate imbalances. Turn failure into a learning experience and start again. Remember to offer friendship to assist others who tread the same path. Your instinctive wisdom inspires them. Divination. Check your diet, put your skills to use vigorously. Adventurous times lie ahead. Worry not. You're protected against deceit and enemies. Recognize your strengths, stay positive and pragmatic. Reject unrealistic ideas. Avoid pride and despair. You have stamina, wait patiently. If two courses of action are open, go for the straightforward one. A professional challenge, such as a job interview or presentation, is successful. Healing insight, you are what you eat. Good nutrients with wholesome organic food sustains your well being. And the soul path is drawing on ancestral wisdom. So, with this 4-4, we're definitely experiencing the opening of the path, right? For a lot of us, especially in the late 2019, there was a lot of having to navigate through sort of murky waters, and we really had to clear out these etheric sort of ties and attachments, and these sort of belief systems, and these dense energies that were just maybe just hanging around. And we've clearing out that, and we're really experiencing the Jupiter, which is about the expansion of your perspective, and are starting to move past any sort of thoughts that are bringing about this delay, this rut, this sort of rock bottom, and this sort of low, this low self-esteem, and this sort of sabotage, right? Or this sort of inability to really follow through on your character, right? Or on the personality, the real personality, being unable to follow through on your real personality, right? So we really had to clear away all the smoke screens, all the sort of masks, all the sort of memories, and all the kind of dense energies, right, that had us kind of in a state where we were not open, we didn't feel vital, and we didn't really feel fearless, right, or adventurous, right? Right, which is basically a creative act, right? It's a creative act of being a pioneer. It's a creative act of discovery, right? It's a creative act of befriending your heart when you make decisions based off of being, you could say, charismatic, or decisions based off of intuition, or based off of new beginning, right? Shedding the old, letting that energy kind of, the ties, the ruts, all of the delays, or whatever sabotage, to kind of let that to, just put it into the fire of your heart, right? Your heart is the fire. Putting it in the fire of your heart and letting the fire just kind of consume it, right? To override it, instead of letting those fears, anxieties override you, override your heart, making your heart shrink, wilting your heart, right? And then feeling the great droopiness of your life. Have you seen a wilted plant? It's droopy, it looks haggard, it kind of looks like this sort of like pathetic thing. And that's what we become. We become moody, we become very just, very murky, very like, in a puddle of ourselves, right? So there's definitely, I feel this fire. Again, the timing, Leo, right? There's a fire in the heart that is that's really giving us this, this perseverance, this newfound sort of stamina to really take this instinctual, creative sort of step into new territories, right, within ourselves, so that we can really start to harness more of a well-rounded personality, and really getting to know what is a real personality within me, right? What is the personality that really gives me this character development, that really gives me this sense of self-esteem, and that really gives me this sense of, having this sort of impact on my life. Because when you're drained, because your personalities are all kind of, in conflict, it really, the character and the self-esteem, really nothing can really be done, right? Really nothing can really be experienced in an excellent way, right? So that's why we return to the heart frequency, return back to that fire, and use that fire to really burn through, like Jupiter, right? Really burning through these sort of weeds, right? Weeds, they kind of choke up your plants, right? They kind of steal, right, the water and the minerals from the soil, right? Taking it in and consuming it. So we really had to clear out the weeds so that we can start to really grow something within ourselves. And I think that's what's going on just with the energetics, the electromagnetic field of the planet is doing that for us. All we have to do is create this little prayer, this intention, right? I am available to receiving the power of the day. That's all you have to do, and you will get the shift. You will feel the energetic sensation of that happening. And then rose quartz, unconditional love. Very powerful. That's one of the most sort of powerful shifts we can have towards liberating ourselves out of the pride and I'm not good enough, and I'm just gonna stay here and just delay myself for decades, and fully moving forward into a greater character of me, right? Such as character is about, working through, integrity, working through forgiveness, working through your ego, right? Which could be your identity crises, or your identity sort of splits, or not really feeling very trusting of yourself, because ego is about trusting yourself. And when ego is dysfunction, it means I don't trust myself, I don't trust anybody, and then I become very judgmental, and then I become very fixated, and then I become very blindsided by my own self, right? So we are working through the pride and despair. I'm drawn to that pride and despair. We're working through that, right? We're working through that so we can get to the other side, right? Which is really this unconditional love, this openness, right? Where really these new energies that want to really integrate these instinctual sort of ancient wisdom can come through, right? We got to be fertile for that, right? We got to be we have to have a personality, character that actually is available, right? That is receptive, right? So we have rose quartz is full of unconditional love and infinite peace. It draws loving relationships to you, heals past emotional traumas, or provides support during a crisis. Self-understanding. You are a beautiful soul who has infinite peace deep within and enormous empathy. Relationships are where you learn your soul lessons. Heal heartbreak or abuse and dissolve toxic emotions and pain that prevent you from giving and receiving love. You have power to love unconditionally and to support others. Divination. Forgive yourself. Love and beauty approach. Loneliness is at an end. Emotional blockages dissolve. Do not accept blame. Recognize that unconditional love and friendship draw exactly the right people to you. Once you love yourself, you can give and receive love from others. Support is available in a crisis. Healing inside. Unconditional love is the greatest gift you can give to yourself or another. Soul path, radiating unconditional love. So this is really a time where, like I said, we've been in this, sort of the swamp of our emotions, right? Kind of in the puddle. And we're using that fire, right? To vent out, right? You think about fire, right? Water, steam, right? The steam, right? With that steam is really helping us to clear out these old sort of, the sort of heavy, dense water that we're kind of carrying, right? To help us kind of get that steam and to kind of, vent that out. And we're doing it through the emotional body, and we're experiencing this emotional release in the physical body. So a lot of us are going to feel guided to be hydrated a lot more, especially these coming days, to be more hydrated, because that helps move the emotional energy, right? And also helps with this sort of purification of the blood, and also the drinking a lot of that water really does help to move what we call any sort of that swampiness we have in the emotional body, that sort of nostalgic, overly sentimental type of sort of ruts that we can get in our emotional body, that creates a lot of sort of resistance towards shifting your perspective. So a lot of us are experiencing this renewal of love, this renewal of the heart, getting more in touch with our feelings, getting more accepting of that, that heart frequency, and really feeling quite charismatic, and really feeling quite adventurous with it, right? Feeling quite, you could say, enthusiastic, right? With this desire to want to have character development that's going to make us more fearless and more united with the earth, and feeling more sincere with our choices, right? And just feeling more instinctually led, and therefore feeling more just feeling more sense of magic moving through you, right? Magic moving through you, and that comes through that heart frequency. It really does, right? We talk about the magic of your ancestors, the magic of your spirit guides, right? We talk about that earth angel. That's really the magic of virtues and philosophy and knowledge that you all can obtain, right, through commanding your self-worth to help you potentiate these sort of obstacles that we may experience into breakthrough, right? Into transcendence, right? Into an act of necessary reform, or necessary firmness, right? Our necessary forgiveness, right? So that we can experience more liberation, and therefore experience more of excellence in the personality and character that we basically we grow within our private space, and then we extend that out in the interactions and the relationships we have, right? And the level of peace, and the level of creativity, and the level of you can say sincerity, right? And discernment we have in these relationships. So the other cards that I have with the messages from your angels, I have: you are protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. So this is a very comforting period. Very, very comforting period, where the guides are really reassuring us that these necessary changes at the heart level, at the emotional body level, that could even trigger some sort of dark night of the soul, some sort of pride, some sort of despair, some sort of just feelings of being a little bit uncertain, being a little bit kind of you could saying being unsettled, right? Being unsteady, right? It's because many of us could have been in a particular position where our heart frequency couldn't really shine, right? In order to really create more space, we have to change our position. So a lot of us are taking on a new position within our body, within our mind, within our spirit, and it's uncomfortable because that new position is now giving us access to higher levels of our greater levels of our self-esteem, right? We're accessing greater levels of our wisdom, or of our, of our love. It's a little bit uncomfortable, right? When you're in this position, when you have this perspective, this belief, right? This Jupiter, right? You have this particular, contact with this Jupiter planet, and let's say it's not as liberated. It's maybe it's more oppressive, more fearful. So when you change your position, when the cosmos sort of reforms you, right? It changes your posture, like chiropracts you for you, basically. It chiropracts your energy. All of a sudden, you're kind of in this new sort of alignment that you maybe never have been, or you're not used to it. But now it's giving you newfound energy, newfound insight, newfound perspective that's really helping you to expand your imagination, right? So that you can start to use that, the higher imagination to really have more breakthrough in yourself, right? And it takes a lot of imagination, perseverance, determination to really see yourself excelling through anything. It takes a lot of imagination to see yourself excelling through anything, right? And if imagination is the infinity, right? Seeing yourself in the infinity, seeing your ancestors, your spirit guides, and seeing that sort of resourcefulness, seeing that sort of, dedication, seeing that sort of, mastery that has been and will be and is on this earth, right? So, and then we have, you are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now, right? There's a lot about the cycle of a particular pattern, perspective, belief, a particular character, sort of, can say, portal that we have been traveling through. We're entering into a new phase where there's a new portal opening up to us, and we're basically being initiated by our soul into the next phase, right? Where we're stepping, everything we've learned, the lessons, or the lessons of love, we're coming to completion, and we're really stepping into the real work. I'm hearing the real work that we're going to be getting into on this planet. I'm talking about deeper work, getting into some real work, getting into some real manifestation, or getting into some bigger energy is going to be called of us, right? And we're going to be supported and protected in that bigger energy because we need it. And that bigger energy, I'm telling you, is that heart frequency, right? Because again, when you have clear personality, character development, self-esteem, it's just when you just feel capable through your imagination to excel, again, that just gives you the energy you need, right? You say, do what you say. That's very much the heart frequency, do what you say, right? And when people have a sort of the disconnection with the heart frequency, or the heart frequency has some sort of, trauma, or some sort of, has some sort of closeness or some numbness, right? Pain associated with that. It's very hard for us to really move forward, and it's really hard for us to really grow, right? Because we don't have the knowledge or really the learning ability to actually move forward, right? Because without that, heart frequency really keeps us humble, and without that we can get stubborn, prideful, fixated, we can get very, very resistant, right? So we're really unlocking this sort of heart frequency so that we can become more humble, and therefore, more available to what is the real work that we want to do, right? The real intention that's not only going to bring us this certain accomplishment or this certain, balance, but also a greater achievement, right, with our character, right? And the kind of higher creativity that is a building block, right? There's phases of it, right? Metamorphosizing, right? The color of you, the radiance of you. It's about refining that in you. So now I'm going to ask these cards, as they're already coming out, what is the message of love, right? How is this love frequency this day helping us when it comes to the expressing of love, right? The love energy that's coming through. How is this helping us with love, right? Love within ourselves, love with others. How is this helping us with love this day, this star day, the Stargate? How is this helping us with love? I'm going to pull 3 cards. I just feel like this is very comforting. This comforting, like it is safe, right? That we're clearing away the sort of obstacles, right? Through the fire of enthusiasm and perseverance. We're clearing away these ancient old lies or habits or sort of perspectives, right? We're giving you that Jupiter. We're giving you that sort of royal blue, that marigold, to really guide you into the real work that wants to be done, right? That wants to move through you. But we need you to be a personality that's well-rounded, right? We need you to honor your character, right? The character of you, right? The emotional maturity in you, right? The willingness to learn and want to participate in the you could say the most prevailing agenda on this planet, which is the resurrection of love, the continuity of love, the balance of love, and you could say, evolution of love, right? That's the sort of prevailing agenda that will always be on planet Earth. And it's kind of like when we begin to return back to that is when we really begin to cultivate our self-mastery through self-discovery and really start to cultivate our real character that actually has grit and actually has energy to give, right? Rather than just being your life depleted and anxious and moody, because the energy of the heart is like a wilted plant or very shriveled up, right? Because of the acts of belittling or destroying the heart frequency, right? Out of, you could say, aggressive or opposing or conflicting agendas, right, on this planet, and not really tapping into your instinct, right? What is the most prevailing agenda on this planet? There's so many, but use your instinct. What is the most energetic, the most fruitful, the most creative sort of agenda, right? Because that's what Earth is. It's about being fruitful. It's about evolution. It's about mastery. Not in what is the agenda that promotes that greater experience that is most natural for every organism to experience, and that is this self-esteem, the character development of each and every organism to experience its excellence through the failure, through the downfall, through the mistake, right? To get gifted, to get talented. That's the love frequency. So we have physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. So this is about sensuality, feeling sensual, getting in touch with the body, going out in nature, going into the earth, placing your soles on the feet on the earth, placing the palms on a tree, right? It's about really rolling in the grass, right? Collecting flowers, touching your body, if you're a woman, giving yourself a breast massage, right? Taking a sea salt bath. There's this sense of feeling more grounded at this time, right? Earth Angel is about being grounded. An Earth Angel is a being who has a deep fondness, a deep sort of connection with the plants and the animals. And then we have, you are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to. We see the horse and the doves. The horse and the dove. So we're seeing with the number 4, we're seeing with the horse have legs of a horse, right? The legs of the horse are very strong, right? Very, very strong. This horse looks very, very bold. And we see the swans, right? The swans represent something that's lovely, something that's sweet, something that is romantic, something that is very connected with the family, the platonic, the kindred, the soulmate, the soul, the soulful gathering, right? So we see the peacock as well. The peacock is about individuality, right? Embracing that. That's how you're going to find your soulful gathering, right? Your tribe. That's what's really going to help you to bring more of yourself to your community, to bring more of yourself, to retrieve more of yourself, more of your incarnational energy that is quite vast and limitless. And then we have ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. So this is about knowing you are supported. Again, there's something about being comforted, being protected, being safe, and being supported, right? With these changes, with these necessary, you could say modifications, right? With this sort of newfound character, or this newfound personality, that you are supported, right? You are supported in being creatively expressive or creatively vulnerable. You're being supported in these changes that are going to help you to clear away the falseness or the low energy. Anything false is really low energy. Clear away the falseness so that you can really experience more of your appreciation is what I'm hearing. Because the heart is really about, we talk about gratitude, appreciation, and that's really a vibrational state we get into when we really ask our guides for help, when we really do pray to our angels, and when we do really allow them to speak and listen. That's when we become really appreciative and grateful, when we actually listen, right? Because a lot of us, we say we listen to our angels, God, but we have some sort of ultimatum, right? We have some sort of like stubbornness or resistance, or if what they ask us to do and it's not exactly comfortable for us, we're like, I'm not going to do that, right? We get very, very upset and moody. I feel like when we really are like available and receptive, that's when we become very appreciative and grateful. And that's when we really start to see our experience or the experiment of life as more of you getting to know yourself, you getting to know how you can really have a discovery over your emotions, over your thoughts, over the physical life of you, right? How you can get a sort of mastery over your higher energy and your lower energy, right? The lower energy of the things that are false, right? The things we talk about false are the things that deprive and drain and really hold you down and hold you back. Either that is person, place, or thing that we indulge in, right? That really sort of blocks the love frequency, that really sort of degrades or sort of creates these obstacles towards being what is most easy and natural to be, which is to be in the character, the self-esteem of you, right? To be in the artistry, the spiritual culture of you that is basically primary nature, that really doesn't have a name. It doesn't really have a sort of it doesn't really have this grouping, right? We talk about the organized religion. It doesn't have a grouping. It has a learning and a learning lesson and a willingness and a burning desire to continue to learn, so that that heart, the fire of the heart, can always override anything that comes its way, right? Burn through anything that is quite to burn through anything that has a quite unfeeling, unlearned, unexperienced situation, right, within ourselves, that we gather around ourselves and we get kind of wrapped up in that. So this is very much the message for this time, right? This 4-4, this 4-4 gateway. And again, it's definitely a time of prayer, right? A definitely time of an earth prayer, right? An earth prayer to really clear away, again, the sort of restrictions that we have naturally, and unblocking the heart and really stepping into the self-esteem of our craftsmanship, right? The really stepping into the self-discovery and really honoring our you could say our journey, right? Because we don't really honor our journey. We kind of belittle it. We kind of, we delay it. We don't really want to be in it, right? We don't really understand the opportunity of it, right? And then get sort of most appropriate with it, right? We get inappropriate with it, right? Where we start to have these choices that are not instinctually led, right? We become quite choices and decisions become quite in a place of character split, at a place of personality, opposition, right? And really, when we have that willingness to want to share the appreciation of the heart with the life, the routine, the morning, the evening, right? That's when we really started to experience the higher energy, the higher creativity, right? The craftsmanship that really is, again, that earth angel, which is about endurance. It's about tolerance, right? It's about having patience. It's about having this sort of, turning the fearful into the fearless, right? To experience the excellence of your ability to actually follow through, right? Follow through on the great virtue that you demand to cultivate in this life. So now I'm just going to close my eyes and, leave you all with just a final prayer for this, giving you an earth prayer. So I just have my hands in my lap and I'm connecting with the earth. And I'm allowing myself to receive the earth up my body into my heart, using my imagination to imagine that there is energy downloading up my body into my heart. And I'm going to see it as royal blue, like a gas stove blue, like a deep blue. And I see it downloading up my body into my heart. And I feel my heart expanding to receive as it receives the frequency of Jupiter. So I imagine as my heart expands, I am receiving the frequency of Jupiter, downloading it into the heart, into the thymus gland. And I'm allowing that frequency, the highest frequency of Jupiter, to give me the self-esteem of incarnational craftsmanship. And I experience that now through my dreams in the night, the visions, the feelings, the sensations. I'm connecting with what is incarnational craftsmanship that gives me the heart at ease, the body in calm, and the mind in balance. Just seeing that blue download up the body into the heart, and seeing from the planet Jupiter downloading down into the soft spot of the head, down into the heart, frequency of liberty, sovereignty, critical thought, discernment, instinct, knowledge, and teachings of the wise old soul. The earth angel is the wise old soul, the sage, which is the vessel that has a well-defined heart energy through many moments of grounded appreciation and gratitude, many moments of focused talent and gift in the building of one's energy of perseverance, tolerance, and resilience. Inhale, exhale. Just now see yourself in this inner aura of royal blue, and see this outer aura of marigold. So see that inner aura, right? See it about 4 inches or 4 feet in all directions as royal blue, and see the outer aura about 10 feet in all directions as marigold, and see the heart as a white flame, and then you look into that white flame and you look into that white flame and you see your soul star, the Merkaba, the 5-point star, the white sun, right? The soul star, and you look into the white flame of your heart, seeing into the soul star, and you see the total unification of the personalities, the 26 personalities, the total unification of your character which is the inclusion of all facets of the mind, 82 facets of the mind, the inclusion of the 360 senses, and includes the multi-dimensional incarnational energies of you, and it also includes the 911 frequencies of you. And just see that sort of multi-talented dynamic of you in this state of oneness, in this state of unity, in this state of fairness. Talk about the balance of the scales, right? Not too hot, not too cold, right? The balance of the earth, right? The axis, the poles, the orbit, the balance of the scales, the cosmos, the solar system, the galaxies. Not too close, not too far, not too hot, not too cold, sun, not too bright, not too dim. Systems, not too close. And just see that sort of balance of the scales happening within you as all incarnations are becoming more equalized, right? More harmonized, like you are this great planet through many millions of years, billions of years, finding your balance, right? With the fire, the earth, the air, the water, the ethers. You, just like Earth, have spent thousands of years. Earth has spent millions, billions of years finding that equilibrium, finding from personality opposition in the splits between the 5 elements to finding the sort of collaboration, the discussion, the sort of teamship, the sort of relaxation, right? And then finding that character, right? That craftsmanship, being able to create, to recreate, to destroy, to reform, and to find that firmness within yourself. So see the firmness in yourself as your instinctual, intuitive lover's trance, the lover's trance, which is your imagination drawing you into the excellence of your perseverance, resilience, brought into well learned experience that you can clean, that you can clear, that you don't have to live it has haggard or worn down. Once you learn the experience and transcend it through the will of the heart frequency, you can let it go. You don't have to carry it from incarnation to incarnation like a haggard shoes with holes. You can let it go. You can take it off. You can take on the new. We take on the new just like the new perspective, right? The new education, the new study, right? Is through the finding it within ourselves, right? Find it within yourselves, the completion, the contentment with what was. That is the only way how you really move on, is finding the contentment, the completion with what was, and the finding it within yourself, finding the will of the heart frequency to be charismatic with the journey ahead. In the act of bringing the liberation, the liberty, the libations, the light frequencies into the embodiment. Inhale, exhale. You can open your eyes, and there you go. That was an earth prayer for this powerful day. May you use it to expand your imagination so that you can really harness the energy of the heart, so that you can really experience the firmness of the release, right? Feeling firm as you let these things release, and the firmness as you let these energy reforms give you the higher education of yourself, right? Giving you the contentment of what was, right? For the advancements of your study, right? Your craftsmanship to really guide you into greater discoveries, right? Greater sort of fullness of yourself, right? Greater nourishment of yourself, right? The fearful challenging that, and through the resilience and birthing that more fearless, right? So thank you and namaste.